In this video, I'm driving a Mark 1 Honda Accord hatchback. Hurrah! So this is the busiest place in the world, but let's have a quick walk around the Honda Accord. Honda Accord was Honda's follow-up to the hugely successful Civic. They realised that a certain amount of conventional engineering was the key to actual success. This is the hatchback model. There was also a saloon. The Estates only came later on. I imagine this is a 1.3 litre engine. I could be wrong in that. I have absolutely no idea. I should probably have asked the owner. Let's take a look at the engine. So there you go. It's a transverse overhead cam engine. The engine is over on the passenger side for better weight balance. So the gearbox, which is a bit lighter, is this side. So if there's one person in it, it should be nice and balanced. At least I think that was there for. So everyone else tends to put the engine the other side, other than Mitsubishi. But yeah, plenty of access. You can get everything nice and easily. I imagine it's actually a 1.6. That would seem more likely, I think. Inside, there's a baby seat and all my stuff, but also shows you just how clear and concise all the controls are. But we've got remote release for the tailgate, we've got the bonnet release down there, and the fog light. I'm going to jump aboard now. And you can see the real joy about this car. It's only done 15,000 miles. But look, it's got lights for tyre rotation and oil filter change. This is stuff unheard of in a British car in the late 70s. We've got a rev counter. We've got one of these things that shows various things. It probably shows whether the door's open or not. And this bar along the top looks positively old-fashioned compared to that. I mean, you could easily say that's 1980s. Indicators on this stalk, wipers over this side, and even got, look at that, a cassette player. Oh, that noisy thing was an Audi. Right, I think we better go for a drive because it's too busy here. Right, we shall fire up. Beautiful. Listen to that, it sounds fuel injected. What I love about Hondas, they just have this wonderful engineered feel to them. And straight away everything just feels nice and light, nice and precise. There's no power steering, but you don't need it. Group of lads here videoing all the cars pulling out. I doubt they're going to get too excited about me. Especially not when there's a Porsche driving past. Noisily. No such antics in the Accord. But yeah, I mean, to compare this to British cars, it just feels tight, it feels quiet. The ride is a little jiggly perhaps, but this is a particularly bad bit of road. 5-speed gearbox, and that feels like a nice tall cruising ratio as well. I mean, this is why the Japanese came to dominate. It's because they build cars remarkably well. There's a slight rattle which I think comes from the cassette player, which isn't actually attached. More for show than anything at the moment. Yeah, I put my foot down at 40 mile an hour in fifth and it's picking up speed. Fair bit of tyre noise. But yeah, I mean, you just wouldn't stress about driving a car like this, really. It's very pleasant. So if the Honda Civic woke up America to the idea of Honda, it was the Accord that really drove it home, and they would end up building Accords in America to suit local conditions, and they proved you don't need a 7-litre V8 to make decent progress, and people quickly became addicted to the economy. Whereas in Britain, the Accord, due to import quotas, was never too plentiful. I mean, I find the whole idea of import quotas ridiculous. It's like, we're selling too many of those cars, so we shall restrict the importation of them. And that just protects the domestic manufacturers. so they end up getting really sloppy, and unfortunately for the domestic manufacturers, the buying public went, no, we want cars that work, that start first time, even on a wet day. There's still rust. This car is covered in a fair bit of it. I'm sorry for the bouncing around as we go over those bits, they're not very pleasant. But the owner of this car is quite addicted to Honda. He's got the NSX, he's got a Z600, he's got a Civic Mark 1. So this is someone who likes his Hondas, and I entirely understand. I'm without a Honda at the moment because the Rover really doesn't count, even though its body structure is very Honda. Oh, the rear drums are sounding a little on the scuffy side. Gets a bit more vocal if you start pushing on a bit, doesn't it? But even all the controls and the switchgear, everything just has that feeling of precision you don't get in a lot of European cars of this era. I mean, I'm a fan of French cars, I know what flimsy switchgear feels like. It doesn't greatly encourage a thrash, but that's not a very nice thing to do to a 15,000 mile car anyway. But even the gear lever is very precise. It's not moving around all that much as I'm driving along. It's not wiggling. Even the heat controls, which are open or shut, I'm going to leave that open for a bit of ventilation. Lovely. Doing an indicated 60 there at 3,000 revs. And I can't drive any faster because that would be illegal. But suffice it to say, you could spend a day driving this car around, and yeah, I don't think you'd feel like you certainly wouldn't dislike it, that's for sure. I mean, compared to a Daewoo Matiz, it's a revelation, to be honest. These seats manage to be soft and supportive at the same time. That's quite a knack. I suppose, reluctantly, I should probably take this car back home again. Yeah, if you want a clear demonstration of why the Japanese dominated, this car really is it. And there we go, that was a lovely drive in a Mark 1 Honda Accord. I was going to say Pachoo, but should we ever run out in the NSX? Why not?